I am Chancellor Kathleen Burke. Nice to meet all of you. So good morning and welcome to this opening session. Today we're going to talk about our theme, as you know from the program, is planning and pathways. We hope to stimulate discussion by the presentations today so that it helps us move forward as a district. This year we'll be working on our strategic planning efforts, and so our comments are built around that theme. And I'd like to start the morning off by asking our student trustee, Evelyn Huang, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning, everyone. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. Next, I would like to ask our Vice President of the Board, Trustee Marcia Milchiker, to join me here to introduce the Board of Trustees and to make a few comments on their behalf. Unfortunately, our Board President, Timothy Jamal, and Trustees T.J. Prendergast and David Lang were not able to be here with us, but Trustee Milchiker will introduce the other trustees.
Thank you so much, Kathleen Burke. First of all, I'd like to introduce my fellow board members, and they're really, our board members are very active, and it's a wonderful board. They're very active, and so many of them are here to so many of these events. I'm really very proud of that. First, I'd like to introduce the trustees, our student trustee you just met, Evelyn Wong. She's a lovely student trustee from Irvine Valley College. And my fellow trustee, Terry Witt, from Saddleback College. And my fellow trustee, Jim Wright. And my fellow trustee, Bobby J. Thank you so much. I was just asked a few minutes ago to bring greetings from the Board of Trustees, and all of us in this room have a lot in common because none of us know what I'm going to say today. And you know, we all really believe in multiculturalism in Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College and ATEP very, very strongly. And the Japanese start their speeches with an apology, and the Americans start their speeches with a joke. And I'm going to start my speech with a joke with an apology that I don't have a better joke. So it's my pleasure to be here today to welcome Chancellor Burke on behalf of the Board of Trustees. I am thrilled that Chancellor Burke has joined our team and will help guide our district through this very exciting time of change. We had so many people retire that now we have a wonderful opportunity to fill these slots with very, very excellent, good people. I think that the most important thing that we do as a Board of Trustees is to make sure we hire the best and the brightest. And that's something that's been my philosophy from the very beginning. Make sure we attract and hire the best and the brightest, make sure we keep them, and make sure that they have the tools to do their jobs, and then just kind of leave them alone. But if they invite us to see what they're doing, I'll be there and we'll be there to see. As you know, that when we have a hiring, we have hundreds, sometimes I understand thousands, I don't know, that might be hyperbole, applying for each job. So we really have our pick. And so we really try very, very, very hard to pick the very best. So you are, all of you in this room are the best and the brightest, and we want to help you do your job for the best. We thank you very, very much for all the wonderful work you do for our colleges on behalf of all of our wonderful students. And we want to be here to help you. We believe that our administration is here to prop up you, to help you do the best job that you can do, and you're doing it already. So we thank you for your wonderfulness and for the wonderful job that you're doing. And we hope you continue to do this. We know you'll continue to do this job during the year, and I'd like to hear from you how we can help you more and what we could do to help you do your job. I really want to, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'm looking forward from hearing Chancellor Burke and Dr. Naomi Castro speak to us today and help us learn about guided pathways and how we could best help our students and do student success. I was talking to Kurt Meyer, and he was telling me that he was learning how to juggle so that he could learn how his students learn how to succeed in a better way. So I guess Naomi, I guess there's a video there of him juggling, so we could all see that. But he's really a very, very inspired teacher, really helps the students and helps Phi Theta Kappa a great deal. So in closing, I'd like to say that the problem with political jokes is that they get elected. So, okay, so I'll try to be more careful from now on. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful semester. Thank you.
I guess I was supposed to advance that before. See, I'm already messing up. Okay. Now I'd like to introduce the district and college leadership. So starting with our host here today, Irvine Valley College President Glenn Rockmore. Saddleback College Interim President James Bice. Vice Chancellor of Business Services Anne Marie Gable. Vice Chancellor of Technology and Learning Services Bob Bramucci. And Vice Chancellor of Human Resources and Employee Relations, Cindy Viscachill. And now our governance leaders. And I would like to welcome our governance leaders to this event. Saddleback College Academic Senate President Dan Walsh. Irvine Valley College Academic Senate President June McLaughlin. Saddleback College Classified Senate President Craig Connor. Irvine Valley College Classified Senate President Maria Nunez. Faculty Association President Kurt Meyer. CSEA President Scott Green. Police Officer Association President Bo Arbuthnot. IVC Associated Student Government President Matthew Roseborough. And Saddleback Associated Student Government President Perry Mead. Now we would like to introduce the new full-time faculty. So this month marks the beginning of a new academic year, and I'm very pleased that we have many new faculty members to introduce. I'd like to ask Presidents Glenn Rockmore and James Bice to join me on stage to introduce their new full-time faculty. And when your name is called, please stand and remain standing until everyone has been introduced.
Good morning. It's a pleasure for me to be able to introduce our new faculty and our new managers at Saddleback College. First of all, we have Roya Amanzuda, Transfer Center Coordinator, Division of Student Equity and Special Programs. Is Roya here? Alan Foote, CIM Instructor, Division of Economics and Workforce Development and Business Services. Farida Gabdek Manova, Interior Design Instructor, Advanced Technology and Applied Science. Brittany Highland, Physics Instructor, a substitute for fall of 2018 in the Division of Math, Science, and Engineering. Lindsay Kapp, Nursing Instructor, Division of Health Sciences and Human Services. Steve Rosa, Dance Instructor, Division of Kinesiology and Athletics. Charles Shaw, Automotive Technology Instructor, Division of Advanced Technology and Applied Science. That's our new full-time faculty, and I'd say welcome, folks. Glad to have you on the team. Now, our new administrators and classified managers. First of all, Ryan Brook, Manager, Office of the President. Philip Cotton, Assistant Director of Facilities, Capital Outlay Projects. Todd DeVoe, Emergency and Business Continuity Manager. James Feigert, Registrar. Esther Gravis, Assistant Dean, Health Sciences and Human Services, Director of Nursing. Curtis Guy, Assistant Director of Facilities, Capital Outlay Projects. Jeannie Harris Caldwell, Dean of Wellness, Social Services and Child Development Center. Diane Pestolisi, Dean of Health Sciences and Human Services. James Rogers, Senior Director of College Facilities. Tram Vo Kumamoto, Vice President for Instruction. And also welcome to the administrators and classified managers of Saddleback. Also glad to have you on our team.
All right, well, welcome everybody to Irvine Valley College here this morning. I'm going to start with our new full-time faculty appointments. First of all, Susan Akaban, ESL instructor, School of Humanities, Languages, and Learning Resources. Judith Benavides, counselor, School of Students and Counseling Services. Jasmine Dew, counselor, School of Student and Guidance and Counseling. Leonard Lamp, mathematics instructor, School of Math, Computer Science, and Engineering. And Mariana Wolf, counselor, School of Students and Counseling Services. Please help me welcome our full-time faculty to Irvine Valley College. Now our new administrators and classified managers. First, Parker Davis, Assistant Director of Facilities, Capital Outlay Projects. Brian Kim, Manager of College Fiscal Services. John Meyer, our new Chief of Police. Nancy Montgomery, Assistant Dean of Health, Wellness, and Veteran Services. And Karen Orlando, the Director of Annual Giving and Development Services. And please help me welcome our new administrators and classified men.
So thank you, Glenn and Jim. And my sincerest apologies to Blake Stevens, who is, of course, the Academic Senate President for Saddleback College. We also have a number of new administrators at the district services, and I'd like to ask Cindy Viskachil to join me here and introduce the new administrators and managers at district services. And again, if everyone could please stand and remain standing until everyone has been introduced. We would appreciate that.
Good morning, everyone. I'm officially at that age. All right, it is my pleasure to introduce the District Services new administrators and classified managers. We have from Human Resources our new Human Resources Supervisor, Christopher Adrian. The new Director of Recruitment and Employment Services is Diane Bangs. Our new ADA Compliance and Leave Administration Manager is Cindy Barron. Risk Manager Tony Brady. Our new Chancellor, Dr. Kathleen Burke. A new Vice Chancellor, Business Services, my colleague Anne-Marie Gable. The person who sustains my office, Executive Assistant to the Vice Chancellor of Human Resources, Deborah Garcia. District Accountant, Jackie Hahn. The new Director of Information Technology Administrative Systems, Gurley Jeltema. Executive Director of Procurement, Central Services, and Risk Management, Priya Jerome. Internal Auditor, Richard Kudlik. Executive Director of Public-Private Partnership Development, Victor Negrete. Is Victor here? There he is. The Manager over Purchasing and Contracts, Nicholas Newkirk. Director of ATEP Development, specially funded, Mary Opal. Student Information Systems Support Manager, Sandra Pope. Central Services Manager, James Steves. I'm hoping you all know I'm your new Vice Chancellor of Human Resources. The Executive Director of Human Resources and Employee Relations, Kim Wittes. Assistant Director of Fiscal Services, David Yang. And the Assistant Dean of Non-Credit and Community Education, Advanced Technology Education Park, Debbie Van Chalant. I'd like to welcome all of our district managers. My apologies, I have one that was left off the list. Human Resources will be assigning a manager to the Irvine Valley College so that we can better support IVC, and that manager is here today, Karen Dubert. Thank you very much.
So we're going to do a little switch of presentations here. Okay, and I did pick the seashells for a reason, which I will get back to at the end of my presentation. Today, we're talking about strategic planning. But in order to put that in context, we need to know who we're planning for, and those are our students, of course. So I want to look at the mindset list. Some of you may be familiar with the mindset list. We're going to take a few samples of the mindset list for the class of 2021. These are students who were born in 1999. Just to put this in context, during their lifetime, John F. Kennedy Jr. has not been alive. This list was established in 2002 in order to give us a view into the world of the students that we're serving. And of course, because it's made for a 4-year university, that's why they project out the 4 years, but it would still be our class. So it was created by a professor and a director of public affairs, and just this year, because both of them are emeritus now, they have added an additional professor of sociology. And all of this, of course, is available online. This year's list has 60 observations about the 18-year-olds that are starting the class this year. So of the 60, I picked 6 of them. So they have always been searching for Pokemon. This is part of their mindset. During their life, paleontologists have always imagined dinosaurs with colorful plumage. Family Guy is the successor to The Father Knows Best that they never knew. U.S. Supreme Court decisions have always been available online in their lifetimes. Justin Timberlake has always been a solo act. Now, this is where my daughter and I had a conversation, because even I knew Justin Timberlake was still in NSYNC in 1999. So what we've concluded is, if it happens at any time in the 4 years of their life, because on my daughter's list, supposedly, the USSR never existed for her group. She was born in 1988. And she said, hey, wait a minute, that's 1991. So it's in the margin of error. It's in those 4 years. And Timberlake became a solo act actually in 2002. Now, I picked him in part because of this next slide. This is the last class to be born in the 1900s. These are the last of the millennials, without a doubt. So if you're still preparing your classes around millennials, it's too late. They're gone, or they're going. And enter next year on cue, Gen Z, or what is now being called iGen, or the Centennials. So we'll see which name sticks. Now, these are my millennials. I bet you didn't know that. And I show them here not only because I love to look at them, but because they are the height of the millennial generation. She was born in 1988, that's Megan, and Liam, my son, was born in 1990, the peak of the millennials. He is the least millennial person I know. But they are both peak millennials. According to the information about the millennials, Justin Timberlake is a millennial, because the millennials start in 1980. So Justin Timberlake's 37. My children are 30 and 28. So they've moved on. And that's why we really have to get ready for this next generation. There are some, again, that will tell you that actually the millennials ended in 1996. And they make that as a definitive line because, and the definitive issue was the 9/11, the attack on 9/11. So if they weren't alive for 9/11, then they're the next generation. At least that's what's being argued. So we're really talking about the 18-year-olds are really a different group. So when you think about that in terms of our strategic plan, think about the group we're planning for. We're talking about, if we really are talking about iGen, they've lived in a world that has never been without the internet. So it's a completely different way of thinking about life. Without phones, Liam got his first iPhone when he was 15. So they've had these phones available to them. So they learn in different ways. So we have to think about that in the context of planning. And also in the context of planning, we have to look at the statewide California Community College goals, which are known as the Vision for Success. So there are 6 of these goals. And I'm going to start, I've reordered them a little bit from the way that they're shown officially on the Chancellor's website, because 3 of the goals are about increasing. So we want to, based on the statewide goals, increase by at least 20% associate degrees, credentials, and certificates. And the goal by 2022. We want to increase by 35% the number of students transferring annually to UC and CSU. Obviously a huge strength for this district. You've made incredible strides, but how do you increase that by 35%? Because we all have to contribute to the achievement of the statewide goals. And then we have to increase the exiting CTE students who are being employed in their field of study from 60 to 69%. So now the other goals. These are goals where we're going to decrease or reduce. So we need to decrease the average number of units that students earn trying to get their degrees and certificates or their associate degrees from 87 to 79. We're going to reduce equity gaps by cutting the achievement gaps by 40% within 5 years and fully closing those gaps within 10. Those are the goals. So I'm just presenting these here today. Obviously, on the individual campuses, you will have more in-depth conversation about these. But we will be framing our strategic plan around this because we have to. And then finally, we're going to reduce regional achievement gaps across all measures, particularly in regions with the lowest educational attainment of adults. And again, we want those gaps to be fully closed within 10 years. So now, for our own DRAC model, we are committed to staying in step with the funding that, for the way that the community colleges are funded throughout the state. And as you know, because there's been quite a bit of talk about it, there is a new funding formula. And the new funding formula uses 3 allocation factors. So base allocation, so this is the old FTES funding formula that we're familiar with. But now just a portion of the allocation will be based on FTES. There's a supplemental allocation that has to do with low-income students, and this was built off of Governor Brown's local control funding formula for the K-12 system. So this is the portion of our funding formula that approaches that. So we're going to raise the level of achievement for low-income students. And then the student success allocation. So this is being paid for our outcomes. And again, with additional premiums or points being given to low-income students. So this new formula is phased in over time. So $7 billion annually, that's this year. Base enrollments allocation. 70% this year is going to be allocated based on FTES. The supplemental allocation, this is the allocation for students that are BOG fee waiver, well, now the California College Promise, just to make it nice and confusing. They thought that the Board of Governors fee waiver was confusing. So that's the supplemental allocation, that will be 20%. And then the other 10% is the student success allocation. But that was not the governor's original intent. You know, he wanted a 50, 25, 25. And we are now phasing it in over time. That 70% will drop over the next 2 years to 65% and then 60%. The supplemental allocation remains at 20%, and then the success allocation goes up to 20% from 10. So for the supplemental allocation, we would receive dollars based on the following. So those are the low income factors. And these are the student success factors. So we're not going to go over these one by one, but basically you're getting points for these 7 factors. And then you get a premium if the student, the way the allocation works, there's a premium if the student also earns the degree or the certificate and is also a Promise Grant student or a Pell Grant student. So we have to figure out how to factor all of that into the DRAC model. And in order to qualify for the state funding, all of the colleges in California have to align their strategic plan, so this is about our district strategic plan, with those 6 goals I showed you for the vision for success. So this is the work we're going to be doing in particular this fall. So we have an RFP going out, or maybe an RFQ going out for a consultant to come in and help us create a new district strategic plan. And then, of course, you'll look at your college strategic plans as well and align those. Okay. So at this point, I understand you wanted to know a little bit about me. This is my second home. I wish. I could stand here and give you all of where I got my degrees and how long I've worked in different places, but you can read that, and it's not all that interesting. Obviously, I did what I needed to do to get this position, so I have the education and the experience and so forth. So I wanted to do something that was a little bit more personal, because if you really want to get to know me, you know a little bit about me and how important my children are to me. And I think you'll see that demonstrated in this video as well. It's set to the music of my boy band from my youth. The only thing, it's always tricky when you use lyrics. And I just want you to know, no lovers have been exposed in the making of this film. So take the words with a grain of salt. Friends, yes. Lovers, yeah, not so much. Okay. So that's a little bit about me. You know I like to travel, and usually with my children. As an art historian, all those places, of course, have significance because I've taught about most of them. So now, why the seashells? So years ago when I taught, and I did teach art history for 20 years at Glendale Community College, went to a great teachers retreat. I'm sure many of you have been to that. And at one point during the retreat, they handed out a seashell, to remind us that while they are part of a group, every seashell is unique and different, just like our students. So as we try to achieve these lofty goals and the vision for success and align ourselves with the new state funding formula, we have to remember that we're not working with widgets, we're working with students. And we have to always keep that as our central focus. So it's now my great pleasure to welcome to the stage student musician Tyler Ravelli, who will perform 2 musical pieces on his trumpet, accompanied by Dr. Julia O on the piano. We'd like to thank Tyler and Dr. O for that wonderful performance. Tyler is one of our seashells. So now I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. Planning and Pathways is the theme for this year's opening session, so it's only fitting that our keynote speaker is well-known and a highly regarded expert on this topic. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Naomi Castro, the director of the Career Ladders Project. At some point, my mouth will work. I have a little more. Okay. This morning, Dr. Castro will provide her perspective on various changes and initiatives occurring in community colleges today. Her rich background includes experience developing seamless K-16 pathways, student learning communities, and regional partnerships among educational institutions, workforce boards, and employers. Based in Los Angeles, Dr. Castro was previously the director for the Career Pathways at El Camino College, where she helped create and refine pathways with partner high schools and worked closely with local industries and the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. Prior to her work with community colleges, Dr. Castro taught history and English at middle and high schools in Tucson, Arizona. She held several administrative positions and was the founding principal of a small middle school designed for Native American students. She also spent a year teaching in Australia. Dr. Castro holds a master's degree in teaching and a Bachelor of Arts degree in history with a post-baccalaureate teaching credential. She received her doctoral degree at Pepperdine University's Graduate School for Education and Psychology, which is where I also received my doctoral degree. Dr. Castro's passion for the skilled trades is rooted in her relationship with her father, a working blacksmith in rural Louisiana. She spent a year as his apprentice learning how to forge steel. Along the way, he also taught her how to frame a room, hang drywall, and to do electrical and plumbing work. In addition, he taught her how to rebuild the engine of her 1972 Volkswagen Thing. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Naomi Castro.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so nice to be here. I have a lot of friends, I think, and colleagues and former colleagues in the audience. So if you know me, can you raise your hand? Oh, yay. Okay, cool, nice. Let's the butterflies calm down. I'm a director with the Career Ladders Project. As you heard, I can also do some basic metalwork and fabrication. Yeah, it's good stuff. If you don't know us, the Career Ladders Project is a nonprofit. We're based in Oakland, where our executive director, Linda Collins, is, and I'm the Southern California director, but I do have to travel around a lot. We're a nonprofit. We work on policy work, research, direct assistance to colleges, but basically we believe what I think a lot of you believe as well, and that is that community colleges are the driving force in the economy of California, fifth largest economy in the world, and we're also the driving force for equity in our state. So California colleges are kind of awesome, yeah? I mean, we've got like over 2 million students. 1 in 5 community college students in the entire country is right here in California. 60% of all our undergraduates, 42% of our students are the first in their families to ever attend college. And the year before, we awarded 250,000 degrees and certificates. So can we just clap for California? Woo! And you guys are awesome. You've done some really amazing things. Saddleback, hello Saddleback. For 2016-17, which is the last year we have like really solid numbers in so far, you awarded over 3,000 certificates and degrees. That's incredible. Your students designed prosthetic limbs with a local engineering department, limbs that can cost like up to 10 grand. You had 3 students who won a national design competition. Like, you're kind of amazing. IVC, okay, IVC is pretty incredible too. Over 4,000 certificates and degrees. You've got like these amazing new certificate in business information worker that you worked with the local Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for. You're doing these incredible summer, you just finished all these summer transition's really important to me, transition activities for incoming students. Your students went to the Getty this summer. That's a great introduction to college, that's fantastic. And also, you took the plunge before the rest of the colleges and the whole guided pathways reform, so thank you. We get to watch you guys and kind of see where you go to blaze the trail for us. And you guys also have this incredible ATEP building. Fantastic, new campus. But you guys know best what you're doing well. So right now I want everyone to take out their phone, please, and open up an internet browser. And we're all gonna cross our fingers that this works. It did work when we practiced. So I want you to go to menti.com. And you can go ahead and keep this open, because if it works, we're going to do a couple of polls. And this will still be up here on the next slide, so you don't have to worry about that. But I learned this new thing. Look at that. Not that one. That one. All right, so at menti.com, it's going to ask you for a code. The code is written up there. I won't read it out loud because it'll just confuse folks. But we have a question, and the question is, what are we doing really well to serve students? This was our test answer was counselors. So what else do we have? So go ahead and type it in. We'll see if it comes up. Oh, it's just telling me my slide is not active. Let's activate that. We have, plan B is we just say this to each other. I think it's activating. What else we got? If nothing shows up in a few, oh look, yeah, certificates, yes, we've got certificates. We've got resources in a different color. We are empowering. Oh my God, I'm loving this. Equity, we've got completion. Oh, it's exploding. Okay, financial aid, transparency, teaching, more counselors, supporting, oh, okay, fantastic. Teaching math, yes. You guys are awesome. Okay, so you got the idea. We're doing a lot of fantastic things. Let's see if I can get to the next one. So the next one's just a little bit different. This is going to show up like a slider scale on your screen. Let's find out what we have here in this room a strong understanding of. So if you have a strong understanding of AB 705 and developmental ed reform in general, go ahead and pull your slider to the right. If you don't, you can, oh, look at that. Okay. Oh, I don't know what statement 6 is. I think I stopped at guided pathways. It threw an extra one in there. All right, so we've got some, well, thanks to Chancellor Burke, we have a little bit of a better understanding of the new funding formula. We've got some understanding of developmental ed reform. Not so much on dual enrollment, that's okay. That's one of my specialty areas. Guided pathways, we're in the middle there. Yeah, strong workforce. Okay, cool. Excellent. Now we're going to try and toggle back. Let's see if this works. Yeah. All right, thank you for that. Yay, I'm so glad it worked. We've had a lot of change. We've had like 10 years of really intensive change. 10 years ago was the official start to the recession. And we all of a sudden had fewer students. We lost almost 1 million students from 2008 to 2015-16 school year. We lost almost 1 million students. And we had less funding, and we were in a mess. I mean, how many of you were teaching or working in community college during the recession? Yeah, so you remember. It was a hard time. And so we did a lot of things. We developed the associate degree for transfer. The Student Success Task Force switched our focus from enrollment to student services and things to keep students successful in their coursework. The Career Pathway Trust was fantastic. It really helped to develop a lot of pathways and transitions with our high school partners. We got a new law on dual enrollment to help try and make it easier. Some success, some not so much. We're now looking at developmental ed reform with AB 705, guided pathways, new funding. It's so much stuff. I'm not going to go over the new funding formula because Chancellor Burke did such a great job at that, but we need to just take a little pause and say, okay, there's like this tsunami of change. Why? Why are we looking at all this change? Well, this is some national data. You can see that students, this is a longitudinal study, students who started off saying they wanted a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree at a community college in 2003. About 80% of them said they want a bachelor's degree, about 20% an associate's or a certificate. And yet 6 years later, this is how many have actually attained that bachelor's degree, attained a certificate or an associate's, and this many are either enrolled with no credential or they're just not enrolled. We also have students, so you saw the Chancellor's vision for success, right? Reduce the number of credits. Well, students take a lot of credits. They take a lot more than they need. And for our students, that means time and it means money. It means an opportunity cost. If you look over here for certificates, check that out. Like students are earning about 63 units when they only need about 30 for a certificate. They could almost have an associate's degree there, but they don't. So there's some reasons for that. And one of the things that we're looking at to try and address these challenges that we have, that our students have, is guided pathways. Now, guided pathways is a terrible term because everything is called a pathway, right? We've got career pathways, got the Career Pathway Trust, we've got pathways here and there. So I kind of think it's like lasagna cupcakes. What do you think of when I say lasagna cupcake? You think, don't put marinara on my chocolate, possibly. But when I show you a lasagna cupcake, you say, oh, I know what that is. That's lovely. It's savory. It's like a little quiche. I could eat that. There's no chocolate. So that's kind of what I want to get to with guided pathways. We call it this crazy thing, but it's, when we show it to you, you go, oh, yeah, I know what that is. So there's 4 basic principles. Guided pathways want to clarify the path. They want to help students to enter into that path, stay on it, and ensure that learning is happening. And what we find is that there's little career exploration for our students, and they need to choose a major. Do you guys know, how many people have applied for community college recently? All right, excellent. I encourage you all to do it. There's no penalty. You can apply and not enroll. It's okay. This is what we ask them to do when they apply. Yeah, you can't read those probably. It's okay, you don't need to. This is just A and part of B at a particular college. The very first thing we ask these brand new students, whether they're coming straight out of high school, whether they're re-entering, or whether they've never been to a college before and they might be like 35, we say, all right, welcome to college, pick a major. I think I'm kind of a smart person. They gave me some degrees to say that. I don't know the difference between the second thing and the first thing. The first thing is accounting, the second one is accounting technician. I could tell you that one is probably more hands-on, the other one, I don't know. How do we expect our brand new students to understand that? They say that they find the requirements really confusing. So this is from a college that will remain nameless. Very popular major. It's for associate degree for transfer in business. Very first semester, they're supposed to take Math 16A, Calculus for business and life sciences. Awesome. Okay, that's what the catalog says. How do I get there? That's how you get there. Like, we didn't make this up. We worked with this college. They asked us to map this out. There's the class right down there. You saw these, like, different ways that you could potentially get into that class, but none of them seem very straight. Oh, I set it up wrong. In 5 years of students who've declared that as their major, within 5 years, what percentage do you think have made it into that class? It's better than 0. But I like your cynicism. 10%. 10%. 10%. This is not how many students passed the class. This is how many students made it in. Yeah. Yeah. This is crazy. Title V doesn't say we have to do any of this. We've made this up. We have created these barriers, probably through a lot of really good intentions, right? Like, I can imagine those conversations that led to some of these paths. Community college students, this is from a national study done by some colleagues of mine. 50% of them are concerned that they're gonna make a mistake when they choose a class. And they're really surprised when they find out that some of the classes they already took don't count for their degree or for whatever their stated goal is. We did some focus groups. We did about 15, 16 focus groups with students from 2 colleges in Northern California, and we found the following findings. They found choosing a major difficult. They found getting into the right courses really challenging. They really love the supportive services that we offer. They don't find them until like their last semester, or their second to last semester. And they really love learning communities. And they wish the rest of their coursework was like their learning community. So Guided Pathways is looking to kind of address all this stuff. One of the ways we can visualize guided pathways is through the concept of meta majors. Some colleges call them meta majors, other colleges call them interest areas or career clusters or all kinds of things. But instead of that giant long list of majors to choose from, what if we asked them just to choose from 5 or 6 different general areas? If they don't know what they want to do. If they know what they want to do, great, go for it. Choose your major, here's your plan. But if they don't know, and most of them don't, okay, I want to go do something that's kind of health-like. I don't know if I want to be a phlebotomist or a doctor or a veterinarian or a biologist, but something like that. That makes a little bit more sense to me as an incoming student. And some colleges have really taken this design principle where they have default schedules. Students can get off of a default schedule. It's not like they're not locked in, right? But the way it is now, they have to create a schedule, and it's really hard, and they have to hunt and peck and choose and get on wait lists and all of that. If we just gave them a default schedule, we'd know the classes to schedule, how many sections, et cetera, and then they'd have to do something to get off of that schedule instead of doing something to get the good schedule. And some colleges, for students who maybe they know they want to do health science, but they don't know exactly what, their first semester will be classes that count for every single major within there. So then as they narrow their focus, they don't lose any units or any credits. They don't take useless classes. And one of those classes is probably an exploration class, so that they have a better understanding how their chosen major actually connects to life after college and a career. Here, Queensborough College also has done something very similar. So there's some good news. So that's a lot of work, and the meta majors thing is just one part of guided pathways, right? That's just a really easy way to look at it. It also involves integration of student services and the academic side of the house. It involves much more intensive counseling. It involves, all of us kind of working together a little bit more, because those crazy pathways, like into that math class, that was created because we were somehow divorced from the student experience. We didn't realize the things that we were designing were making these mazes for our students. So good news, that's always nice. Gutman College is actually a traditional transfer 2-year college. They don't have, I don't think they have any CTE in particular, because a lot of times we hear that Guided Pathways is the vocationalization of post-secondary. It's not, I promise, it's not. Gutman College is a transfer institution. They started from the ground up as a Guided Pathways college. The 3-year transfer rate nationally from 2-year colleges is about a little over 6%. At Gutman, it's almost 30%. 3-year transfer rate. That's incredible. And they're like, yeah, that's not good enough. We need to get better. You guys, there's been some news lately about Georgia State. If you follow me on LinkedIn, if we connect, you can see an article about this. But Georgia State took 10 years, and they really dove deeply into guided pathways, and they eliminated the achievement gap. I mean, look at that, right? So this is a difference of 10 years, and they did a lot of things that they all house under the framework of guided pathways. But all students' completion rates went up, right? Every single student, by demographic, their completion rates went up. And now there's a very small gap, and it's in favor of African American students, where before they were at 25% completion compared to over 30% completion for Anglo students. Like, this is incredible. So we can do this, but it takes a lot of work. It's hard work. And earlier I kind of talked about, like, we have this tsunami kind of coming at us of reform efforts, but we're like Californians, right? So what do we do when we see a tsunami? We break out the surfboard, we play some Beach Boys. So there is actually one more question that I'd like, whoops, I can do it. Yeah, I gotta go over. Well, and I'll prep you with it. The last question is, why, oh, you guys got it. Oh, you saw it first. Yes, this makes me so happy. Why do I work at a community college? Why am I a classified personnel helping out students at a community college? Why am I an instructor here? Why am I a counselor? Yeah, the biggest one, of course, is students. Diversity, help students, certificates, money. Amazing students, love, stability, goals, mentor, a paycheck, yeah, I like a paycheck too, it's good. But also helping our students to get that paycheck as well. Transformation, commitment. Okay, this is like gonna make me cry a little bit. So the reason I work at a community college is because, so you heard earlier that my dad is a blacksmith in rural Louisiana. My dad taught me how to do all these amazing things. My dad is, like, seriously the smartest man I know. I don't think that's an exaggeration. And my dad went to school in rural Louisiana. He dropped out of 10th grade. His whole life and his whole experience with the educational system is basically people telling him he wasn't good enough, he wasn't smart enough, and it made him feel really stupid. And I'm telling you, he's the smartest guy I know. So the reason I work at a community college, or in the community college system, is to tap that potential in people like my dad, people who have been told that they aren't good enough, that education isn't for them, but there's really a gem inside of there. There's really a genius there. So that's it. Thank you very much. I think it's there.
So let's thank Naomi one more time. And now look at how many of those responses were about students and helping people and helping the community. And so now we want to honor those of you who do that work every single day. We want to honor the faculty who have between 5 and 35 years of service to the district that have reached those milestones in 5-year increments. Faculty honorees who are celebrating 20 or more years of service and who would like a photograph with the trustees and the college presidents after we distribute all of the pins, please come to the right side of the stage at the conclusion of the session for a quick photo. And now I'm going to ask the trustees to join me and the college presidents and ask Cindy Viscachill, our Vice Chancellor of Human Resources and Employee Relations, to read off the names. So as your name is called, please come forward up the left side of the stage, and we can all greet you and congratulate you on your honors.
While we're getting assembled, I think there's some sort of poetic justice in the Vice Chancellor with the name of Viscachel to pronounce all of these names, so I will do my best. I also want to clarify that the names and service years in your booklet are not correct. One of the things you'll find about me is when a mistake is made, I will own it. For several years, apparently, our dates have been incorrect. So the last 24 hours has been spent by HR correcting so that we will be providing you the current correct information this morning, so they will not possibly match what's in your book. My apologies for that. Service pins for 5 years. Saddleback College, Jody Cagiano. Saddleback College, Scott Fredrickson. Irvine Valley College, Juliana French. Juliana did RSVP, is she here? Saddleback College, Carrie Golding. Saddleback College, Edgar Haley. Irvine Valley College, Carol Kasoy. Saddleback College, Ann Lawson. Saddleback College, Serena McLean. Saddleback College, Jay McKeechee. Saddleback College, Brett Myron. Saddleback College, Aaron O'Shea. Saddleback College, Sean O'Rourke. Saddleback College, Bruno Passarelli. Saddleback College, Lindley Steinride. And Irvine Valley College, Christina Loeffler. Now to honor 10 years of service to the district, Saddleback College, Michael Bennett. Irvine Valley College, Donald Bradshaw. Irvine Valley College, Michael Kasins. Irvine Valley College, Terry Chatcup. Irvine Valley College, Feng Ai Chen. Saddleback College, Christopher Cloughlin. From Saddleback College, Barbara Cox. Saddleback College, Carrie Crabb. Irvine Valley College, Julie Evans. Saddleback College, Robert Farnsworth. Saddleback College, Carolyn G. Saddleback College, Bruce Gilman. Saddleback College, Frank Gonzalez. Irvine Valley College, Sanjay Gupta. Irvine Valley College, Melanie Hyree. Saddleback College, Jennifer Hedgecock. Irvine Valley College, Diana Hurlbutt. Saddleback College, Maria Kiernan. Irvine Valley College, June Kill. Saddleback College, Ardith Lynch. Irvine Valley College, Emily McKenzie. Saddleback College, Veronica Obermeyer. Saddleback College, Joshua Pryor. Saddleback College, Michelle Rousseau. Saddleback College, Maureen Smith. Irvine Valley College, Parisa Sultani. Saddleback College, Stephanie Sorensen. From Saddleback College, Mr. Blake Stevens. Saddleback College, Nicholas Tranny. Irvine Valley College, Matthew Tressler. Irvine Valley College, Matthew Wolkin. Saddleback College, James Zoval. Our records show that there are no 15-year recipients. 20-year recipients. Saddleback College, Sharon Haas. Irvine Valley College, Dale Carranza. Irvine Valley College, Yolanda Goldsmith. And our state championship head coach from Irvine Valley, Thomas Pestalacci. Saddleback College, Lisa Silveira. Irvine Valley College, Fawn Tanriverdi. Irvine Valley College, Toshio Welchel. Now we are going to award 25-year pins, 25 years of service from Saddleback College, Scott Fier. And from Irvine Valley College, Gary Reibold. We have two 30-year pin recipients today. Both are present from what I understand. From Saddleback College, Constance Kiet. And from Saddleback College, Sharon Nussenbaum. And yes, we have one 35-year recipient from Irvine Valley College, Seth Huckwald. Thank you to all your service recipients, and thank you for your service.
So this concludes our session. I'd like to thank you all very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us here today. I want to thank Irvine Valley College for providing this beautiful space and for recording the session so that we can stream it for others, and for the technical lighting, staging, and sound, especially to Stephanie Alvarez, Patrick Taylor, and Mark Peterson. I could not have done it without them. And also a special thank you to my office staff and the district's public affairs for their thoughtful planning of this event, especially Grace Garcia, Myra Arias, Heather Morrow, Amy Garcia, and Scott Brown. Have a wonderful year.